Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears, even though I'm sure a lot of you out there are really pissed off about what happened yesterday. And you know what? We all have a reason to be pissed off. The Bears players have a reason to be pissed off. The Bears organization, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. You know what? This has been a big problem all season. And, the finish. I'm so tired of hearing about that now, even though it's true. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but we should, of course, won that game yesterday. There's just no if and buts about it. Third time this season that the Bears were leading in the fourth quarter and couldn't hold on to the lead. And, Getsy or Flus, because Flus is finish. You know what? Fuck you, Flus, and the finishing. The finishing starts with the coaches to put these players in their best position to win the game, calling the best plays to win the game on defense or offense. And they clearly did not do that in the fourth quarter with, less than 5 minutes left. How many times did we see this? How many times, how many of you out there yesterday said to yourself, we're going to lose this game? I did. We got in the fourth quarter. It was, 7 or 8 minutes, and I said, we're going to lose this game. I just know it. Here we fucking go again. So let's talk a little stats. I'm not going to go on the stats because we know, but, and then we're going to talk about the game a little bit. So, my threes, my threes, time of possession, turnovers, penalties. You win those, you're going to have a really good chance of being in the game, if not win it. Well, the Bears won 2 out of 3, and that means they were in it. They just didn't finish. I'm so sick of that word. We got to come up with something else. So the time of possession, was basically the same, even though it sure seemed like our Bears defense was on the field a lot longer than the Cleveland defense. So the time of possession, the Bears were on the field 29 minutes offensively to Cleveland's 31. So that was essentially the same, but we lost it. Turnovers, we won turnovers because there were 4 turnovers to their 2 turnovers. And 2 of those turnovers, one was the interception at the end of the game, and one was the interception at the half when they threw that other Hail Mary, which really wasn't an interception. That needs to be taken off of Fields' record. But so we had 4 turnovers, they had 2. We had only 4 penalties. Yeah, they kept it under 5, my rule. Cleveland had 9, but we still could not win this game. Listen to this. The Bears only had 148 yards passing to Cleveland's 348 yards. That's where they were getting us, but they were getting the defense on not really big pass plays, just a lot of dink and dunk, and that's where they got their 348, except for that nice long play in the fourth quarter that really that set them up for the game-winning field goal. No one could get the rush game going yesterday. It was terrible. The Bears surprisingly still had 88 yards rushing. Johnson, or rookie number 23, led the way, then Fields, and then a few of the other guys. But the rush on neither team could get going. Cleveland, we held them to 29 yards rushing, and they were a very good rush team, so that was good. They sacked Fields 3 times. We sacked Flacco 4 times. And get this, there was 10 punts by the Bears and 9 punts by Cleveland. And I said on Friday, my game, I said it was totally going to be a defensive game, and I was right about that. That was for sure. The Bears, so now let's just talk. I'm not going to talk any more real stats like that. But the Bears just couldn't get anything going. Just couldn't. Of course, let's talk about this. So the Bears offense had 8 to 9. I can't remember it was 8 or 9, but it was 8 or 9 3 and out. You can't win in the NFL if you do that, and you're only hurting your defense, because then they got to go right back out there, and that means they're going to get gassed. And the offense only scored 10 points. The defense scored the other 7 that made it 17-20. And actually, out of those 10 points, they really only scored 7 on their own, where they went down the field and they got 7 points when Fields threw that great pass to Clement, and Clement caught it after a bonehead when they were down on that. Well, actually, no, because the Bears did it. The Bears got them the interception by Stevenson to put us down on the 2-yard line, and there was about 10,000 penalties on that series between both teams, and we would have scored one time, but Clement had a false start, but he made up for it on the next one. Fields passed him on 4th down and 1, or 4th down and whatever it was, and he got that point. And then the other 3 points, again, from the defense, putting them in a good position because of turnover. So really, yeah, they scored 10 points offensively, but that was with a big helping hand from their defense. So yesterday, the offense sucked. And it did not help in the first half when number 18, and what is his name? I forget his name. It doesn't really matter. He doesn't deserve to have his name mentioned, but number 18, our wide receiver, drops a beautiful pass from Fields, and 18 had beat his defender, and it would have been a touchdown, and he fucking drops it. I mean, I could have caught that ball. My God, and I've got one bad leg, and I'm 65 and out of shape. You kidding me? Right there. You know, it would have been 7 points. We would have been winning that game. You just never know, what the momentum can do with something like that. So when you see drop passes, there was a couple other drop passes by other receivers yesterday that didn't help. And of course, Mr. Mooney, everybody's on his case about that very last one, the Hail Mary. Yeah, it would have been great if he could have held on to it, but he didn't. But at the end of the day, that is not the reason the Bears lost the game, and we know it. You just know it. 9 out of 10 times Hail Marys do not work. They just do not. And of course, it could have been, and it would have been an extremely cool way to end the game, but we still would be talking about how badly the offensive played. I mean, Getsy, I don't know what he's thinking. We're going to talk about Getsy cannot call a game. I mean, well, it's probably Flus and Getsy on this, so it was going into halftime. There was a couple seconds left. I think they should have went for the 55-yard field goal. What's the difference? You had nothing to lose. It was going into the half. Cleveland would not have gotten the ball. And what if Santos had made that field goal? Yeah, game tied at the end, huh? So why throw a Hail Mary? Might as well try because he's been pretty downsided. He said, well, it was windy, and we said, this and that. So what? 2 seconds on the clock? What the fuck, Flus? For that, again, you should be fired. So that was 7-7 at halftime. I mean, the decisions this man has made are unbelievable, which I'm going to get into again. Then in the second half on the game, and I don't know, did I misunderstand this? But no, I haven't seen anybody talking about it. The Bears were within field goal range on their side of the field again. They went for it on 4th and 1. Of course, they didn't get it because it was a stupid-ass Getsy call. Instead of just doing the push-yush or whatever it is with the quarterback, just have Fields do a quarterback sneak. Again, we don't get it. Why didn't they go for the field goal? I think they should have tried for the field goal too. So in my opinion, they left now 6 points on that field, which would have won the game. I mean, of course, Getsy says it, and then Flutes has to decide, so they're both terrible, terrible, terrible. Another bad call in the 4th quarter. The Bears were up 17-10, and the Bears had another 3rd and 1, and he calls a stupid handoff play. We lose yards. Again, quarterback sneak. Everybody does it. Does Getsy not watch other teams? I mean, seriously, Getsy. Quarterback sneak. Have you heard of it? Oh, I'm just sick of it. There's so many times that the Bears this season, and you guys know I'm right, that have had so many opportunities on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, and they call stupid ass plays. They're trying to be tricky. Well, you know what? John Madden said many, many years ago on the TV, teams that do tricky or gimmicky plays know they're not good enough, so that's what they have to call those for. So clearly the Bears don't think they're good enough, because I can't get it. I don't understand how many times on 3rd and 1 we didn't get the first down and 4th and 1 by a simple quarterback sneak. Makes no damn sense. I mean, seriously. You know, Flus. I can remember going back to the very first game of the season, and he completely, I was so mad. It was the Green Bay game, first game of the season in Soldier Field. The Bears were at 50-yard line. It's 3rd and 1. Instead of doing, give it to running back, run up the middle, a quarterback sneak, they put Clement under center and try to be fancy. Didn't get it. They actually lost, I think they lost less than a yard. And then they go for it again on 4th and 1 at the 50-yard line and didn't get it. They should have punted the ball right then and then. They could have put them back within their 5-yard line, Green Bay, and had to make them go 95 yards. Right then and there, I knew we were in trouble this year. What a stupid ass thing to do. And then game after game after game, Flus and Getsy, I'm going to say Flus because he's a head coach, terrible call playing, and you're not putting your players in the best position to win. And if I were a Bears player, I'd be pissed. I'd blame this game on the Bears coaching staff, with his comments about finishing. Well, there's only so much the Bears players can do if you don't put them in don't call the right plays to put them in. Now, that last one, we're going to get into it, but it's just time after time after time, his decision-making is terrible. Flus, he is a good defensive coordinator. There's no doubt about it, because he has turned around this team, although Sweat has an awful lot to do with it. But the team has come together and Flus has done that. Great defensive coordinator. He cannot be a head coach. No. They have got to fire all of them. Enough is a fucking enough. Now, everyone says they should do it now. They can't, because you have no D coordinator. So what happens if you fire a head coach? You're going to make Getsy the head coach? I don't think so. And you can't fire Getsy, because then we don't have anybody doing the offense. Although, put your special teams coach in there. Maybe he could run the whole team better than these two idiots have done. I mean, seriously, the decision-making, has cost the Bears many, many games this year. And, well, at least 3 that we know of that they were leading into the fourth quarter and lost those games. And that just shouldn't happen. Especially the way the defense played. Let's talk about the defense. They played so hard yesterday. There was no way they should have lost that game. And, the Bears did play one of the best defenses in the league. There's just no doubt about it. Cleveland has the top 1 or 2 defenses, so a lot of credit to them. But, well, we're going to wait on the defense. I want to talk about the offense a little bit more. So that is one thing. I will say we did play, and that's why we could not get a running game going, although we got 88 yards. We only gave them 29, but still. And after seeing Fields in this game, people, I'm going to go down on record. He's not the answer. I'm done. I've been so wishy-washy this year. Is it Getsy? Is it Fields? Is it Getsy Fields? Is it what? Fields proves time and time again under pressure, he's terrible. He cannot make a good decision under pressure. He just can't make decisions fast enough. He can't release the ball fast enough. A couple of those sacks were on him again. The O-line, no, for sure, had a terrible day, but again, they were playing against the number 1 or number 2 defense. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a bye, because they did pretty good considering. But Fields, you could have put another good quarterback in there, and I'm pretty sure he could have gotten away from some of those, the line as it was collapsing around Fields. He just cannot make a decision at all. He gets worse and worse when the game becomes on the line, and you can't have a quarterback like that. Your quarterback in situations like that, when you have a chance to win or you're winning and you've got to keep the game going so the other team doesn't score, you can see these quarterbacks step up and really play and make good decisions. Fields doesn't know how to do that. Can he be taught that? I don't know. But with what's our coaching staff isn't the answer. So, the scenarios are they fire all the coaches, keep Fields, and try one more time with them next year under a new OC and a head coach, possibility. Or they trade him and start all over again. And I think it's time to trade him. I think that it's been 3 years. We've seen some improvement, but the improvements that we really needed to see, fast decision making, faster releasing the balls to these receivers, and just being smart out there, I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's good enough to be that. I don't think he can take a team on his shoulders and be the leader. I just don't see it. I saw him rolling his eyes yesterday many a time. You know what? It's not all, Fields, you're the quarterback. And on almost 9 out of 10 teams, that is a leader, and he leads his team with good decisions and puts his offense in good positions to win. And I don't see this young man doing it. I really don't. I just think the experiment is over, and I hate to have to waste a number 1 draft pick on another quarterback. It seems like we've been doing that the last 6 years, and it hasn't worked, and it's just such bullshit. Why can't the Bears fucking figure this out? This is ridiculous. One of the most longest standing franchises in the league, and they've never had a real quarterback. Not in any of our lifetime. And I'm sorry, Jim McMahon does not count because he was a game manager with a lot of talent around him. So, and then he didn't even last. He kept getting hurt and stuff. So, no. We need a quarterback that can play NFL-style football for 10 years straight and win us a damn Super Bowl. And right we have now, between management and Fields, isn't going to get it done. That's just the fucking bottom line, everybody. The F word's coming out a lot today. I must be feeling better. This is the best I felt. I think this game really got me inspired. So yes, the defense. The defense did everything they could, even scoring 7 points, to get the Bears the W, and the head coaches, in my opinion, let them down. And there's one thing I did predict on my Friday show, if you watched it, not many of you did, I will mention, is I said it's now time, because I was talking about all the great turnovers we've been getting the last 5 weeks, and I said now it's time to get a turnover by the defense and a touchdown, and it happened. Yeah, it was great. Number 49, yes, wasn't it? 49 that did it? And it was just great. I mean, there were 4 sacks, so let's talk about it, because these guys deserve to be mentioned. Sweat, he had 2.5 sacks. Number 5, Walker, not number 5, 95. Number 95, Walker, had a half a sack. He helped Sweat. Number 53, Edwards, he had a half a sack. And number 99, Dexter, he had a half a sack. But Sweat did lead with sacks, 2.5. Interceptions, number 45, Edmonds. Number 29, Stevenson. And number 4, Jackson. And that Stevenson interception was awesome, because he saved the number 15 who fumbled that punt and gave the ball to Cleveland on the 2-yard line. And the very next play, Flacco throws, and Stevenson what an awesome interception that was. He literally flew in front of the receiver to catch that, and he ran it back to the 40-yard line. So you know what I said at that point? I said, you know what, number 15? Stevenson just picked his teammate up and turned it around. And that was great. I mean, the defensive players, Brisker, number 9, was all over the field. Jackson had a great day. Sweat had a great day. Edmonds had a great day. Stevenson. These guys were playing, and I want to call out because the defense, I'm calling out all the defensive players. 53, our rookie lineman Wright, he had a good day yesterday. The line didn't look good, but he had several really good blocks yesterday to help Fields and our running attack. He really did. He stood out to me, and he's getting better and better. He still gets silly penalties here and there, but he's a rookie. He had a solid game yesterday, and you got to give props when, especially when the O-line did not have a great day. But again, the defense, I mean, there was really only one bad play the defense did that you can really say, that cost us the game, and that was in the fourth quarter when they let that one guy get by him, and he ended up taking him down close enough so that they could score the touchdown or the field goal. And Flus said that was on him. It was a bad call. Yeah, you think, Flus? And at that point, I think the defense was out of gas. They were running 110% each one of them. I said on Friday's show, to win that game, every player on that team had to play 100% perfect game. And the defense did it. You cannot say anything bad. You could say, well, they did give up the last 3 points. Well, for cripe's sake, what would they do when they're constantly going back on the field because your offense gets out there and has 8 or 9 3-and-outs? That can be less than a minute and a half that the offense is on the field, and that means the D goes back out. These guys are exhausted. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And, it does start all of this with the head coach, and his finish. Finish. Who's talking finish? I mean, shut the fuck up with that, because you put those players in a bad position again and again and again. And if I were those players, I would be pissed. And he has made, as I said earlier, so many bad calls all this year. Told you about the first game that I still haven't forgotten about, that Green Bay game. And I swear that set the tone for the season. And you know what? I thought maybe a couple games ago they were going to keep Flus, get rid of Getsy, and have a go of it, and see what happens. But I don't think so anymore. The Bears, I want Harbaugh, but I know it's not going to happen. But I'm telling you, you get Harbaugh, this team's going to get turned around. And you never know. Harbaugh come maybe even bring a great OC over, and maybe he could fix Fields, because we have Fields for one more year. What will you get for him in a trade? I don't know. I don't think you're going to get a lot, because everyone's seeing what we're seeing, right? And you know what? At the end of the day, really, time and time again, the decision-making is horrible. And Poles, you better be looking for a head coach and an OC. Well, you can't really do the OC because that comes with the head coach, and you need a defensive coordinator. And it's unfortunate because Flus does have this defense playing at a high caliber. And I think they're only going to get better and better as they work together. I mean, the defensive line had a great day. The linebackers were all over the place. Edmonds, Edwards, they were all over the place. Our backfield had a great game. I mean, yeah, they had 349 yards in the air, but a lot of them were not long passes until that last one. And then there was one other real long one that was on Stevenson that the guy got him. It was just a great throw and catch. And, Stevenson, was close, but, a rookie still. I say that it was 50-50, great pass, catch, 50-50. Stevenson should have knocked it down, but, again. So those were the only two ones, that long pass, and I think that was in the third quarter, and then that one that set up the field goal. But the rest of it, the defense played lights out. I mean, really, what can you say? I mean, when was the last time we saw the Bears defense play that good? And they have a running attack. They were 7th in the league in rushing. We're 4th in rushing, and we gave them 29 yards. So, that's another thing. The beginning of the season, this defense was giving up so many. They were giving up well over 100 to 150 yards a game. Look at it now. It's a solid defense, people. They gave up 20 points. In this league, that's not really that bad. This is the NFL. What's bad is our fucking offense can't score points. We're averaging 20 points a game or less. That's just ridiculous. And remember the Minnesota game? We couldn't even score a touchdown, and we won that 12-10. I mean, and then what people were talking about, the only good thing about this loss is people are stopping it with the stupid playoffs. Playoffs? Who's talking playoffs? That's what I was saying. They're not ready for the playoffs. Not even close. But you know what? If this defense just keeps on going, it's just going to be better next year. And I think we're going to have a top 5 defense next year in this league because they're going to keep as many as they can. And then they're going to get more in the draft. It'd be great to get another edge rusher, And we need some linebackers, I think. And you can always help your backfield. But I think we're going to have to waste a pick on a quarterback. Unless the Bears overhaul. This is the only way I see the Bears keeping Fields. They overhaul everything. New head coach, OC, D coordinator. And they bring somebody in who thinks they could mentor Fields. And they give him one more chance on his last year of his contract. That's the only way I see Fields staying. Otherwise, I think they're going to trade him. I mean, they're not going to just release him, but they're going to trade him otherwise. And I don't know. I'm just so disappointed. This win, of course, we weren't going to the playoffs, so calm down about that. Get over it, really. But we should have won it, and that's the thing. When the Bears played well enough defensively, special teams, they should win. But the coaches, I'm sorry, it starts with them. And I really do blame Coach Flus. I think it's done. I think Poles had to say after that game, no more. We got to start looking. And they're not going to fire anybody before the end of the season. So everybody just stop that. I'm sure in Illinois, on all the radio stations, they're just blasting the Bears. And I hope they're not blasted number 11, Mooney, for not catching that last thing. Yeah, that would have been great. And yeah, he should have probably caught it. But it just, we're talking seconds here and what's happening in a ball. All of a sudden it lands there and you're not expecting it. So, again, he's not the reason we lost that game. So that's why I'm wearing his jersey today, because it's not on him. And people better not be fucking blaming him. The blame is on Coach Flus. And Getsy, Noah Getsy, can't call a game. Getsy, you need to go back to Pee Wee football and start all over again, or go to junior high or even high school, but you don't belong in the NFL, okay? You just got lucky when you were in Green Bay and you had that idiot Rodgers. Oh, speaking of that, the only good news about yesterday is Green Bay lost. So whenever the Bears have a bad day and Green Bay loses too, right on. I'm sorry. I'm a true Bears fan, and true Bears fans cannot like the Packers, so you're always happy when they lose. I don't even know what to say. I've said it. You could tell I'm mad. Of course I'm mad, because we should have won that game. But really, I'm beating that dead horse. Flus and Getsy gotta go. And then what we're going to do from there, I don't know. But, of course, Fields we got to have him play the rest of the season, because the one thing about that is, to the Bears' advantage, if they think that they're going to get rid of him, you want to play him so that the other people in the league see him and want to trade for him. Maybe seriously, he's a good athlete. But you know what? From here up, I don't think he's got the intelligence to be a quarterback and a team leader. And that's really what the Bears need in a quarterback. You see these, Brady's, these Allens, Mahomes, the guy in Baltimore. I mean, these guys, Stafford, they are the team leaders. When they talk, people listen. I don't feel like that is like that with Justin Fields. I know they all love him, and the players say all the right things, but really, behind closed doors, is he really your quarterback? I don't think so. So, we're 5-9. We've got Arizona on Christmas Eve, the late game, which I do not get why they're doing a late game in Chicago on Christmas Eve. What stupid ass thought that was an idea? Good idea. And then the following week we have Atlanta in Soldier Field. So those are two very winnable games. And then the last one's in Green Bay against Green Bay in Green Bay. So 2 out of 3 winnable games. Maybe we can salvage the season a little bit and come out with a couple more wins. If Flus can get over himself and start calling a game like a real head coach. So I don't know, guys. I'm pissed. I'm disappointed. I'm embarrassed, and I'm embarrassed and hurt for the defense because those guys work their ass off and they have to be pissed. And you know deep down, those guys are pissed at the offense. They're probably like, I've had enough. We do what we do. We can't do, they couldn't do anymore, really. I mean, they really couldn't have. Think about it, okay? The blame is head coach, Getsy, Fields. Those 3. And they're not my 3s. Okay, so, boy, I think I'm back. I feel like I'm back. The last few shows, I do apologize, haven't been the greatest. I'm so preoccupied with this leg. I'm gonna, with this completely knee replacement, it's gonna be a long journey. I've got probably another month before they say I'm gonna feel normal. So we'll see. But I'm driving, so that's a good thing. Anyways. But thank you, and I do. Like I said, I finished. Last few shows weren't that great, so hopefully your announcer is back to her form, baby. And not too pickled today. I think I remembered everything. Not bad. Okay. So as always, again, thank you all for watching. My heart is full that you watch me show after show, week in and week out, when you really don't want to think or talk about the Bears, but I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. I love my family and my friends. Again, thank everybody who's been helping me out, and I've gotten a lot of help this last month. And as always, be kind. Stop hate. Love one another. It is the holiday season, and everybody's in a really good mood. But can't we just do that 365 days of the year? Wouldn't it be nice to be in the holiday Christmas spirit all year round? Love one another. Stop prejudiced. We're all the same. We may just look a little different, but we all have got hearts and minds and love in our heart. So please, Bears fans especially, you guys are freaking awesome. We're tough hombres, and we love the Bears, so love people like you love the Bears. And I want everybody, well, will I be back? Yeah, I guess I'll do a show before the Christmas Eve game. I'll do a small show. And then I'm not sure when I'll be back because of the holidays, so we'll talk about that later. So I'll see you Friday. I love you all. And again, my heart is full that you watch me. I appreciate it. Tell everybody if you like it, subscribe. Hit like and subscribe. I actually lost a viewer. I had 389, now I have 388. I don't know what happened. Somebody must not like me. Okay. And as always, go Bears and keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. See you Friday.